Don't forget to.
Good morning, Panther fans. So, you might be wondering why I'm smiling. You might be wondering what's so good about this morning, Jaws. Stu's shaking his head. Well, the good news is, good for me anyway, we have no games Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday here in Maryland, we are going to get an obnoxiously unusual warm streak where we're going to get 75, 76, 77 degrees. What that means is on those 3 days with no games, the rockfish are going to be going batshit crazy. I will be fishing. Other than that, the hockey game last night.
I'll be at U2 in Vegas.
Yeah, so Stu will be at U2. I'll be fishing. That's it for the review. Nice to see you. Have a nice day. Enjoy your Sunday. All right.
Thank you. Hit subscribe.
Yeah, hit subscribe.
Why are we smiling? I'm fucking pissed off as shit.
I think because we've gone past. Look, on one hand, when your kid does dumb things, you get mad, right? On the other hand, after a while, you get used to your kid doing stupid things. Now, we sat here all last year until the last month. Jekyll and Hyde. Win, lose, win, lose, lose, win, lose. I mean, this doesn't look any different.
Yeah. Well, I know it's only 5 games into the season, but I'll tell you what these guys did last year. They spoiled us.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, I mean. Because the regular season was, aside from the latter part of the season with the run, it was a forgettable season.
Yeah, it was.
But, first of all, it's Vancouver. Second of all, you come out strong. All right, you don't pop a couple of goals in. Then you have that brain fart moment that's been a regular thing now in the second period. Right. 2 goals, boom, boom, a quick score. Now you're down. And then you pick it up in the third, and you tie it up with 5 minutes to go or whatever.
Yep.
And then and it's Forsling, of all people, makes a bonehead play to try and help Larson out behind the net when he didn't need help. I don't know where the forwards were. But anyway, so Forsling leaves his man in front. Boom, boom, boom. Lorentz falls into Bob.
Yeah.
Empty net. Game over.
Yep. Exactly.
Throw one away like that.
No, it's not good. You have to get points in those games.
And we had the momentum. Who knows? We could have gotten another goal. I mean, we had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
And then it was just a routine throw-in that, hey, listen, give Vancouver a player that was on, that beat Larson to the puck. Right. Give him credit.
Right.
But Forsling, what were you thinking, dude?
Yeah, I mean, what Maurice said, and the way Maurice said it was, we had a one-time occurrence that won't happen again on that goal. So, I mean, and in his defense, how many times does Forsling do something stupid? I mean, all defensemen do things, but Forsling, for the most part, is usually all of the guys right now on defense. It's 6 guys that never played together before. I mean, the only returning guys are Forsling and Mahura, and they ain't playing together. So it's 6 guys, and it looks like 6 guys that have never played together before. And at times they look good, and at times they look bad.
Yeah, well, I'll say it and say it again. Love the guy, but Kulikov is our wink link back there. Yeah. Did he take 2 penalties last night?
It was at least one. There's usually 2 or 3 that you look at that could have been called that aren't.
But he's getting beat. He's getting beat to the puck.
Yeah,
almost every time.
Yeah, and like somebody said in the comments, what does either one of or both Lucas Carlson and Matt Kiersted have to do? Why are we putzing around like this? They're good young players. They're certainly faster than Kulikov. I don't think it's going to get any worse.
Maurice goes with the vets, man. Yeah. I agree with you.
I know.
I agree with you. Did we really have to bring a Kulikov back at his age. I don't know. I don't know what they were expecting. They weren't, were they expecting the Kulikov of 12 years ago?
Right, right. So
He's not a
Marcus,
bad player. He's just, he's gotten up in age and
yeah,
his reaction time. Same thing with Yandel. His
right,
reaction time is not fast enough. His
right,
skating is not fast enough. And
right,
obviously, when that shit happens, you take a fucking penalty.
right,
And
right.
that's what happened.
Yeah. So Video Marcus here. Thanks for coming. He says if it eventually comes to Paul Maurice on how the team actually works, it's his job to make the team work like a clock. No disagreement there whatsoever. He did change the pairs up a little bit at the end, although he didn't do what I thought he would do. He put Balinskis with Mikula, which I thought you'd put Mahura. Mahura was good with Gudis because Gudis was a veteran defenseman, and maybe he was covering up for a little bit of what we're seeing now. Mahura is not going to cover for Balinskis. It's not. He's a second-year defenseman, and Stu, you know this. A lot of times, the second year as a defenseman is the guy's hardest, So, but one thing.
So maybe they save getting Kulikov and Malinkus or whatever, and they keep fucking Gudis and bring Carlson and Kierstead up. Done. Problem solved. They really shot themselves in the foot getting rid of Gudis or letting Gudis go. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree, but on the other hand, when you look at the cap situation, I don't know where that money comes from because Duke and Rodriguez swapped out their money, and
we'll get to that because that was like a big part of the video from my end was this Rodriguez over Duke thing. Good point.
But in terms of Gudis, as much as I would have loved to keep Gudis, we're right up against the cap. So if you would have added his salary, Kulikov is making, all these other guys are making minimum wage.
But they said he was going to take a haircut to stay. I don't believe it was $1 million. All right, I think that's bogus because from $4 to $1 million, but the gap might be, who knows?
I know.
We don't know.
I know. Well, we never know. We never know.
It's more than just his play on the ice.
Yes. Yeah, and look, but we on one hand we could say we wish he wouldn't have gone. We miss him. That's fine. Okay, but now we have to take that and put that on the shelf and say, all right, who next man up at some point, And one thing that I was concerned about, and I know I thought it a few times during the playoffs last year. I don't know if I verbalized it, but my concern was that playing that heavy, hard, physical style, I think I mentioned this, was that, okay, now we're showing teams how we can play, but then Vegas came in and kind of one-upped us. We were kind of not 100%. They one-upped us. You see what they did to us. And my concern was that the Panthers cannot play that physical style 82 games. But each team coming in one game at a time can play physically. And if we don't match their physicality, we're getting beat the pucks along the board. We're not winning a lot of the battles. And it's off and on. Like, we'll have a good 5 minutes and then a bad 5 minutes. So my concern was that, these teams could kind of come in and for one game, they got to play a bit heavier, right? And if we don't match it, we're going to lose games.
Good point.
So
good point.
So go ahead and talk about Rodriguez because we
want
to talk about something happy.
Absolutely, the MVP of the teams through 5 games.
Yeah,
this kid's the total package.
Yep,
total package. Setting up both Reinhardt's goals last night. It's just a very smart hockey player.
Yeah,
who sees the chessboard.
Right.
And I like his speed. I like his aggressiveness, but I really like how he sees things. Those are 2 perfect setups.
Yep. Absolutely.
Two perfect setups. So he's my number 1 star of the game. And then I can't really fault Bob on I mean,
No.
that Susie goal, that was a snipe, the little box up in the corner.
Yeah.
And then the Pedersen thing, it just, Lundell turned the wrong way and it just whipped it by him. And I don't think Bob even saw that one. But
no, I mean, if you're going to let guys take point blank shots from the high slot, not even the high slot, he was like, I mean, and that was one thing we saw from the beginning of the game, even when it was only 1-1. We're just letting them come into the zone. No, nothing. We're literally backing up and letting them come into the zone, not just on the PK, which we'll get to all the special teams, but there's no aggressiveness at all.
Forget about the two blatant mistakes that almost cost us goals in the first period, where they basically passed it to Vancouver.
Yeah, well, you talking about Bob?
One was Bob, and
one was Bob.
One was
he did pass it right.
I think was the other one.
Bob made a fantastic pass right on the tape to the guy's stick at the blue line.
But he made the save on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that one or the other one, but
yeah. No, Bob was looking like Spencer Knight a little bit last night. I was get back in the net. And the other thing is, and I don't know if this is a product of just lack of chemistry and everybody running around not knowing who the hell is going where, or if it's purposeful because of Gudis not being there. I don't know what it is. But I think Bob is getting run into 2 or 3 times a night. And like hard, like getting knocked around on his ass 2-3 times a night.
That wouldn't happen with Gudis out there.
Right.
Guys know.
Sometimes it's our own
guys know it's an unwritten thing in hockey. When you got a guy like Gudis protecting the house,
right?
They know not to F around.
Right. Hey, Rosado's here. Good morning, buddy.
Hockey players take liberties when they know they can get away with it. Look at Marchand. His whole career. His whole career is made like that. Look at Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Gets away with murder.
Right.
Did you see that Rasmus Anderson or whatever?
Yeah.
I sent you the clip. He dirty checks Patrick Laine in center ice.
Yeah.
Lifts his feet and projects himself into the head. Only gets 4 games.
4 games. I know.
Instead of the league setting a precedent early in the season, you're going to do shit like that, you're getting 10 games.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe as a repeat offender. But look, the bigger issue is
our defense.
Well, I was going to say you got to get Bennett back because Bennett being gone is just line 2 and line 3 are basically useless out there.
Yeah, I think Luostarinen looks lost out there. Look, Lundell looks ineffective. Sorry to say. And let's get to the elephant in the room because I know you want to talk about it. Matthew Tkachuk.
Right.
What is wrong with Matthew Tkachuk? Because
I think it's because he's shaved.
I'm going to go with that. I thought about what you said. You told me early on in preseason, he doesn't look right, Stu. I don't think he's 100%. And the more and more I'm watching him, I'm starting to agree with you. Yeah. What it is, I don't know.
Exactly. But especially his play away from the puck, he looks lethargic out there. It's not even to say he's hurt. I mean, I do notice him avoiding contact with that shoulder. I can't say I blame him, but I'm not seeing him move his legs. So, I mean, was he not able to skate the whole offseason? Is it conditioning? Because Maurice made a point about talking about Reinhardt's success, that he worked really hard over in the summer to be better conditioned. I don't know, man. I'm just hoping. What I'm hoping is like it was with Huberdeau. Remember, with Huberdeau, we're like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? And then Bennett showed up, and they had like 30 points in the last 30 games or whatever it was. So I'm hoping that if we get Bennett back and Tkachuk still looks like this, then we got a problem. So hopefully Bennett, Tkachuk, Lundell, Luostarinen will. That's got to fix it. It has to fix it. It has to. So, the other thing is, it's time for Stolarz. Not that this is Bob's fault, but when you play him a 5th game, I said this in the recap last night, you give him that 5th game in a row and you get no points, you completely wasted it. He played well enough for us.
The last review, Stolarz should have got a shot. Especially with all those games, all those days off.
Yeah, Rosado's got a good point.
I'm not the coach. So I
Rosado's got a good.
want to bring up something
Yeah.
so everybody can kind of give me the answer that I don't think anybody's going to give me. Who is wearing the other A beside Kachuk while Ekblad's out? I don't think there is anybody unless it's Bennett, and he'll wear it when he comes back. There's nobody wearing the A, guys. They would have pointed it out on 5-game broadcasts. I was going to ask Randy last night, but I didn't want to bother him. But does anybody see an A on anybody's sweater?
No, well, I see when we're on the road, I see a lot of them because of that damn AutoNation patch. As they go flying by, I'm like, he's got the A, he's got the A. Oh wait, never mind.
I think it might be Bennett. I mean, we'll obviously see when he comes back, but don't you think we have another alternate captain while Ecky's out?
I mean, you would have thought. I mean, who are you going to give it to?
Food for thought, guys. You post comments and tell me. But I don't think maybe nobody's even noticed or nobody cares. So just one of those things that has got me, a little.
Right. No, I get it. Rosado had a good point. He says Kulikov, horrible penalty. He's the new Frank Vetrano. Well, won a game, bro. Vetrano was good for one a game, and it was
that's for Hagee. If you want to put Kulikov is the new Yandel. All right, for Toronto and for Hagee, they were always known for taking stupid penalties.
Yeah. Well, look,
I wonder how Frankie's doing out in Anaheim.
Look, I mean, I on one hand, all I can say is I don't know what we really expected. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. You know, Maurice talked about it last night. He said, like the first period, and then this second period thing, and to me, it's becoming such a thing. I almost feel like it's somewhat on purpose. Come out hard, get a lead, coast, and then play hard in the end of the third period.
Not going to work.
I'm not saying I like it, but
it's a bad habit. I think they did that last year too. There was a time when we had the best second period in the league. I don't know, it was last year, the year before. All I know is they can't be doing this shit because, I mean, that brain fart for 5, it was like 2 goals in 6 minutes.
Right.
I'm talking about just sloppy play.
Yeah.
So, no.
Mark is proposing a trade. He says, how about Pavelski for Reinhart to Dallas? For trading Reinhart to Dallas, has to do some big moves. No,
Reinhart's our top scorer right now.
Reinhart. I'm offered if you watch the deep dive into the salary cap, either a bunch of players have to take less than market value, or if you want to sign everybody, the guy that goes is for Hagee. If you, and I'm not saying I want it, like it, et cetera, but unless everybody takes less than market value, one guy has to go. There's just not, between, and not immediately this offseason, but at some point. So
I want somebody out there to answer this question.
Yeah.
I think after this season, Ekblad's got one more season left on his 8-year contract.
Right.
Does the no trade clause come off that last year? That's the question.
I think it's just modified.
That's the guy you got to get rid of. I'm sorry. That's the guy you got to get rid of. You're going to get rid of 40-goal scorer Hagee? No way.
Well,
going to get rid of 30 possible 40-goal scorer Reinhart? No way. Especially now that Reinhart is gelling with Rodriguez and Barkov.
Yeah. Reinhart
it ain't
completely
happening.
Off of that trade.
We made that mistake. His name is Marchessault.
Who? What?
The guy that killed us in the playoffs.
We played. I don't remember. I've blocked it out. It's how when you block out trauma and you I lost time. I don't remember. No, look, the thing with Verhage is that, and I don't want to get too off in it, but the thing with Verhage is he doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to take a lot less money. If he is scoring goals again,
Why would they?
he's going to want money that we don't have, because his contract is before Bob's runs out. His need for a contract is before Bob runs out. So a lot could happen, but right now the main thing is and I mean, we got to tread water while these guys are out. We've got the Sharks, and then who the hell do we have the last Kraken?
The
So we got the
Kraken.
Sharks and the
Hey,
Kraken
Eric,
the last. Yeah.
don't forget loyalty to the team, but before loyalty to the team is loyalty to their wife and kids, or whatever, their family, or their livelihood. They're only in it so much, and rarely does a player play,
Right.
15 to 20 seasons.
Yeah.
Most hockey players maybe don't even reach 10 seasons.
10, right.
So it's like, get the money while you can.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I don't blame Gudis for,
Yeah.
I just want to know, did we make a really honest effort to work with him?
We ain't never going to know the answer.
I don't think we did.
I think that we're never going to know what would have happened if Ekblad and Montour weren't hurt. Because if they weren't hurt, we wouldn't have had to go out and get the guys that we did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that put Zito. I mean, it kind of did, because he had to go out and get at least two guys between Larson and Kulikov and Riley. That's three. That's $3 million. That's Gudis's money, but he had to get multiple. Mikkola too, yeah, right. So I mean, he had to spend money to replace players, and then that money is going to be sitting on the bench when those players come back. But
no, those players, somebody's going to be going. At least one or two are going to be going. If Montour and Ekblad come back with Ekblad's 7.5 by himself, there's no way we can keep everybody.
Well, I don't understand what you mean.
Right now, we're getting cap relief.
Right.
With Ekblad being on LITR and Montour, whatever he made, $3 million.
Yeah, but when they come back, we're still under the cap. We're still cap compliant with the players that we have when they come back.
Yeah?
Yeah. We don't have to get we there's no room on the ice for all the guys. But
I just don't understand. That just goes to show you the confidence level that these guys have or had with Kierstead and Carlson.
Right. Yeah.
Because those are the guys that should have stepped up to replace the holes where we needed, replacing.
Right.
And that didn't happen. So, I mean, why did we have to go out and get 4 defensemen?
I know. I get what you're saying. I'm not ready to be too critical of Zito. It's a tough spot. Remember, he didn't, and you throw in the whole Spencer Knight thing. We're getting a little bit of cap relief right now. Apparently, he's looking really good in the AHL.
That's a whole other thing. $4.5 million on a.
Well, but when he signed that contract, I mean, we were all kind of thinking Bob was. We didn't see last end of season's Bob coming. You know what I mean? He had not played really that well for us. So,
Yep.
I mean, could he have given him 3 instead of 4.5? Maybe, but we don't know. Remember, I kept thinking that Spencer Knight's people were going to be like, you're going to pay us like he's a starter, or we'll go, So, not that he had. I mean, he would have been an RFA. So, I don't know how that whole thing went down, and that's the thing. We ain't never going to know. You know what I mean? Because the Panthers, you find out like 3 years later, the questions get asked and answered. You know what I mean? So,
I will tell you, I'm impressed with the 4th line. I think they, the more they play together, the better they're going to be. They're definitely better than our 4th line from last year. They're eating up time, which is good. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing on the ice at the end of the game with 5 minutes left when Vancouver scored. It was Lawrence that bumped into Bob. What was the fourth line doing out there?
I mean,
for Maurice, that always shortens his bench in games like that.
well,
That
he mentioned it. He and I said it in a recap. Maurice almost said the exact same thing. The first line and the fourth line are going, and the second and the third line, we got to get going. And so I think, I mean, halfway through the stream last night, I said the fourth line is the second line, and I think Maurice agreed with me because it was 1-4, 1-4. So
at a critical point in the game, you have your best defensive forwards out there. I'm sorry, we can agree to disagree on that one.
Well, I mean, you look at it though. I mean, I don't disagree. On paper, you would probably rather have, he was mixing lines around too, man. I mean, it's a shit show. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's from period to period. They're playing completely different. Nobody other than the top line.
We got one line. We got one line gelling. All the others are all discombobulated.
It's a mess.
We definitely need, the key right now is getting Bennett back in the lineup,
right,
and getting Verhaeghe, Bennett, and Tkachuk going, and then Lundell, Luostarinen, and Cousins.
I'd like to see Mackey get another shot.
Excuse me, Sordif.
Well, Sordif was kind of
Luostarinen, Lundell, and Sordif. I still stay with him. With him. This kid. Right. This kid. This.
Okay.
He's fine. He's only played 3 games?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So there you go. But that's it. Those are the top 3.
Right.
And then, like I said, Bennett's the key to everything, because then not only his playing ability, but then the dynamic of the line combos settle.
Right.
Chucky looks lost out there, without a doubt.
I mean,
without a doubt.
Right.
He's tentative. He's just like. He's definitely not aggressive as he's always been. And you're right. His energy level is not 100%.
Right. And then
I wouldn't say coasting, but we're not seeing typical Matthew Tkachuk.
Right.
Energy.
The energy. Yeah. And I don't know. Last night, before I get to Mark's comment, right at the end of the broadcast, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Goldie started talking about, we got to get, a few of these guys got to start getting points. And when he was saying that, I don't know if it was planned or accidental, but they put the screen, only thing on this screen was a close-up of Tkachuk chewing on his mouthpiece, just kind of looking like he just got whacked upside the head or something, like he was just kind of like lost, like you said. So Video Mark says, I also think Zito could do some moves with Lundell. He's not been good enough and still has good shopping values. I disagree there. I mean, he hasn't been good enough, but
you don't trade Lundell. You just just he's in a slump. So is Luostarinen. Those are 2 great players.
Right.
I'm telling you what happens when Bennett comes back.
Right.
Then you got Luostarinen, Lundell, and Sordif or Mackey, and that's your third line.
But how about this? Until Bennett comes back, how about the second line? Lundell, Luostarinen, Tkachuk. I mean, I don't know what that does to the third line, but it doesn't matter anyway, because third line is ass right now either way.
Like you said, Maurice is tinkering, so maybe we'll see that.
Right. I mean, just that would at least give us 3 good lines if you consider the fourth line a good line, and that would give Luostarinen and Lundell, put them back together again, and maybe that gets Tkachuk going.
Maybe we'll see that.
Yeah.
Here's my last comment.
Sure.
And then I'm done. We gave away two. They're all valuable, but we gave away 2 points last night.
Yes.
I mean, we were going down 3-1 and we tied it.
Yep.
Okay. And we had no right to lose that game after we tied it. The crowd was into it.
Yep.
I love that we're getting, big crowds.
Right.
And, the Let's Go Panther chant. I mean, it's energy in that building.
Yeah.
The players should be taking that, and, but Ugh. Forsey, what the F were you
I
thinking?
know. I know.
And okay, so the two defensemen went behind the net. Where were the forwards covering in the front?
Right.
I mean, Lorenz tried, but he checked the wrong guy.
I know. I know.
He knocked the
It's
wrong guy on his ass.
and look, when you look at it though, I mean, I get it. I get it.
These are
You're
the
not
games we
wrong.
have to win. Like Seattle's coming in.
Right.
They've had our number.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't beat them, right?
I don't know. I know last year when we were, or the year before, whenever we were like, that game would have set the record for the most undefeated to start a season.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they spanked us in
Yeah.
our
That's
building.
right. That's right.
So don't
Yeah.
think that.
President's Trophy year. Yeah.
And they're projected to finish high in the West. So I'm not going to say I'm worried about Seattle, but I'm hoping that, listen, 60 minutes. It's a 60-minute game.
You know, I realize you can't have that level of energy the whole game, but you got to not make the stupid mistakes. And like last thing I'll say, I mean, it's just like that play, that play, and I know Forsling did what he did. It was Forsling, Larson, and then in come Lorentz. I mean, it's three guys. This is their fifth game ever together, and I mean, what we saw last year as the season went on is it became more of this machine, and you could look and see everybody knew what everybody's responsibilities were. And at the beginning of the year, we saw the same thing from different forwards. That they got to understand that you have to be skating back and forth because the way that we play, you've got to have those forwards coming back and covering their men. And he saw it on the other goal where Lundell, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what he was thinking.
He just lost them.
Right.
Listen, the power play,
we should talk a little bit
goal,
about.
That's it. You got to get the puck out. I mean, you the goal is coming when we make 3 attempts to clear the zone.
Right.
And we don't do it. And now the penalty killers are on the ice basically the whole time. I don't know how many seconds. There were seconds left.
Yeah.
In that power and that kill.
Right.
And Luosterainen, 3 times they could have gotten it out. I just knew that was coming. But and anyway, all right. So we're 2-3.
So we're 2-3. If we win the last 2 at a homestand, we go into Boston 4-3. And I mean, we said we needed to be 500 while these guys were gone, but at some point you'll look up at the standings and it'll be 6 points and 8 points. I mean, we can't get these guys back fast enough.
Yeah.
Bennett included. I think if we had the Bennett Kachuk line going and Lundell and Luosterainen were going, we could survive on defense.
Yeah,
it ain't going to look pretty, but I think we could survive.
We got to score more goals because we know the defense is not going to say weak, not as good as we are when we have Montour. And I'll give Ekblad credit, whatever, as bad as I think he is defensively. Yeah, we need those guys back, but we get Bennett back. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this, shakes the team up. But
Yep.
That's all I got, bro.
Yep. Yeah, Rosado saying a couple things. Oh, yeah, the time for the game is a little bit weird. I'm trying to figure out why that game is at 8:00.
Which one?
It's one of the two.
Usually when games are at 8:00, it's because they're on national broadcast.
But when I looked, that's what I thought. No, wait, it's 6:00. No, wait, the Sharks game is 7:45. The Saturday is 6. The Sharks game is 6:45. And normally when you look at it, it'll give you a little logo to click the TV and the streaming to check it. There's no link here at all.
For which one?
But for Sharks and Panthers, but Bally's advertised last night. They had the graphic up, puck drop at 7:30. This says 7:45, and last week it said 8. So hell if I know. Bally's has been having a lot of problems with the graphics. As an aside, like at one point they said they were giving the graphics for the lines,
Yeah.
and it was like Barkov with Kachuk and Verhage. I mean, they were not even close to right. I don't know if they got a new intern running the graphics, but they've been having a lot of problems. So, yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate you joining us on this Sunday morning. And hopefully, what is it? We'll have a game Tuesday. So Stu and I see you Wednesday again. Kyle and I will be live tonight on Flying Fluffy Football for the Dolphins versus the Eagles. And then I'm almost 99% sure Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, about game time, instead of a game. I think we're going to have one of those Florida Panthers fans have their say live streams. It's into the season enough, so give people a little bit of say, maybe get a different perspective on some of the things that they're seeing. So look for that post to come out. I should create that today, and that'll be Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Hit that subscribe button, buy a breast pump from Stu. And other than that,
hit the like button.
Hit the like button, leave a comment.
Listen, that we made fun and this and that, but listen, that's how you make money.
I know.
The algorithm, whatever YouTube does, man, whatever makes 6 more cents by getting another subscriber. I don't know. But listen, all kidding aside, there's no reason why we can't get to 8,000.
Yeah, let's get to 8. Let's get to 7,100.
Yeah.
It's been I don't know. I've stopped bitching about it because even for that, the bitching is not working. That's not good because usually when I bitch, like what was it when Merrill Lynch speaks, people listen. What was that commercial? It's like usually for me when I bitch, things happen.
Yeah, when Merrill Lynch. Working. Yeah.
Was it Merrill Lynch? I forget which one it was. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the support, and we'll see you. Kyle and I will see you again tonight.